Mic test. Testing the mic. Mic test. Mic test. Testing the mic. Mic test. Seems alright to me. I think we're about to transition on into the stream. Well, howdy folks, and how y'all doing today? Seems like it's working all right. Levels are all right. Mic coming in at -5 decibels. Music playlist at a -35. Is it working? I hear it. I hear it. Today I'm using my headphones to monitor the stream, so I'm getting a little bit of like a speech jammer effect in my ears. So let's go ahead and mute this. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to another Country Fried live stream. Today we're back in the corner. We're doing the old workflow live stream today. I've got some footage of weathering up the Neurohelmet, and I want to put together another short for the channel. They seem like a good way to get out content in between major releases. And in the meantime, I've been working on my cookie clicker, clicking cookies. Just letting this thing run. I think I'm about to close it out because it does have some invasive music. I do recommend this here. If you need something to waste time on in the background while you're doing other stuff, Cookie Clicker is maybe the king of idle games. Anyhow, let's get into it. Welcome back to the live stream, to the Workflow live stream. This is the place where I'm doing work on Premiere projects. This is basically what's going on behind the curtain at any given time here at Country Fried Minis. This is work that's getting done anyways, and is more or less a forum where you can come in and see what's going on and voice your opinions on the work as it's happening, or toss your opinions on content via the algorithm or on previous videos. It's a place where I'm going to hear you live or in between projects. So definitely voice your opinions here, whether it be in the live comments or the comments down below. I read them all, and I'll take your input into consideration. So without further ado, let's let this frenzy stop, and I'm going to go ahead and save and exit my cookie clicker. All right, music working, music's working. We're gonna start a new project here in Premiere. Levels looking good, things looking all right. Checking OBS. I'm a little paranoid about it because my microphone is not the best microphone. Tends to make some squelching noises from time to time. Is that the right term? I don't think it is, but digressing, we're gonna call this new project Weathering the Helmet. And we're gonna save it in the shorts folder. So I'm aiming for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, put together a video. The shorts live streams tend to be a little shorter because we're only putting together a 1-minute video. And yeah, I think it's footage that folks should see. Unfortunately, I did not get footage of the full process of painting the helmet because it just, I was busy. I was working on the Tukayyid models at the same time. So, you know, it is what it is. I guess I don't need a new sequence name. I'll do it anyways. Main body. Okay, so we're going to create this project. And this is, you know, the start screen of making any project in Premiere. We got the project weather in the helmet. We're going to go to, I got to import the footage before we can start on the we can start putting it together. So I think it's just 2 videos. So I'm gonna drag them from my folder, drop them in the import section. And it looks like it's about 14 minutes worth of content that's gonna get cut down. I also need to preemptively toss in my assets for the VHS overlay and the TV screen noise glitch. Yeah, I think I used that. About a second of it at least. And then I have the, what's it called? Static white noise sound effect wave file. And with that, we can get started with a new sequence. So, as with any project start, we're going to dump this thingamabob down into the timeline. Make sure the linked selection button is off so I can just delete the sound. I don't need the sound. And when you import something like this, when you import something into your timeline, it'll set the sequence to the size of your video, and I don't want that. I post in 1080p. There's no need to do 4K. If anything, posting in 4K kind of precludes my ability to zoom in on the footage and have it like render properly. So we're gonna go 1080 horizontal, 1080 horizontal, and 1920 vertical, since the shorts videos are vertical format. And then the starting point at that point is to reduce the scale on the footage so that it fits in 1080. And now we can begin the process of selecting footage and seeing if we can't put together a minute of content. I think I do them a little shorter, like 58 seconds or something, because once you export or you render the footage to YouTube standards, it becomes 29.97 frames per second. So you end up getting a second or two on the end of it, which matters. If you have like a 59-second video and it bumps it to 1 minute 1 second, it won't work as a short anymore. So it's a bit of a concern, but not a huge one. It looks like we're applying rust effect, so we'll get a little bit of the rust effect on there, and then we're doing the little markings. Okay, let's start cutting them down. And once again, welcome folks. If you have found this live or you find it via the algorithm, once again, this is the regular workflow live stream where we're working showing what's happening behind the curtains. This is the work that's getting done anyways. This goes into all projects. The countless hours that go into editing for videos is kind of astounding at times. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's actually something I'm working on in the scholastic front as well. It's with a semester of video art and now a semester completed of projects in the teaching of visual arts, where I helped the professor in teaching the course, and I'm seriously considering next spring semester doing a independent study for video art. I'd love to teach video art to folks. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it's kind of relevant information for this generation of content creating kids. Anyhow, let's start trimming out some footage here. I think I may have screwed up and not actually shown the rust effect. So let's remedy that with let's playback HD. Is it working? Okay, yeah, it's working. Let's find an image of dirty down rust effect. I suppose I could have just took a picture of it over at my desk. I kind of like this one right here. I think I'm about to yoinks that picture. Open image, new tab. Let's save image as. We're going into the shorts. We're going into weathering Neurohelmet, and we're going to call this one Dirty Down. All right. Popping open paint.net. It's my preferred image editing software. It's free. I highly recommend it. It has most of the capabilities of Photoshop. In fact, if there are other things in Photoshop, I'm not super familiar with them. I know of paint.net from my time with working on the creative team for animal rights activism. So I spent a little time, I guess it was a full summer, maybe a full year, I can't recall exactly, working with an animal rights group. I didn't really get too involved with the more crazy stuff like animal rescues and whatnot, but I did work with the creative team and make graphics for protests and demonstrations and whatnot, make placards, and in doing so I gained some competency in paint.net, which has come back to, that knowledge has come in handy several times now since then. Y'all hear them sirens? Stuff like preparing character avatars for playing D&D and Roll20, or putting together these kind of images, just, you know, scrubbing edges or making thumbnails for YouTube projects. It's definitely well worth learning a little bit of photoshopping skills, for lack of a better term. Even though this isn't Photoshop, I think the idea still applies. Kind of like the whole branding thing with Band-Aid, for instance. You know, people in the US say Band-Aid to refer to adhesive bandages, when in fact it is a brand. Band-Aid brand bandages. Digressing. Get yourself paint.net and play around in it. It's really fun stuff. You can make layered PNG images. You can make transparencies. There's a lot you can do with it. And it's super useful. You never know when you need to edit an image for some application. you yourself have found use through paint.net, or you've done some cool Photoshop stuff. Feel free to drop it down in the comments below. Give us a link to your work if you want to get it out there. I'll take a peek and critique it even if you'd like, which has been my life for the last 7 semesters or something. Done a lot of art critiquing between art history courses as well as studio art. The art of critiquing work is a pretty awesome skill, and it's universal between art classes. On that topic, I find often that people tend to be like, oh, I like this, or this is good job, and it's like, that's not critiquing. Critiquing would be like, overall, I enjoy the theme of your work. It expresses well such and such, and it struggles in these regards. The edges of your image are poorly blending, though the intent is shown. You know, just waffling on about that, putting some detail into the discussion. And I always found it difficult to try and impart that knowledge to my fellow students, or at least strongly suggest that they be a little more detailed in their descriptions of their critiques. Some of the professors were really good about getting people on that. Some of them were not. I guess it just varies from class to class. So sometimes it calls on students to take the lead and be like brutally honest about the work they're seeing. But digressing, that's all just been waffling on to fill time while I edit this image, which is now done. So we're gonna call this dirty down transparency, and it's gonna save as a PNG. Now we got this image with transparent background. And what that's gonna let us do is toss it in as we do this little bit for the video. So I'm thinking we got we're doing 58 seconds or so, 57 seconds minus the static at the very beginning. We want to show how many sections. Firstly, we're rusting it up, then we're applying black paint and removing it, and then we're writing on the markings. What am I doing with the sticker there? Probably get away with about 12 seconds dedicated to each section. So let's grab, what am I doing here? All right. I think we'll start here where I pick up that cup. Right there is good. Let's see what 6 seconds of that looks like. Maybe that doesn't work actually. Let's do 12 seconds of it and speed it up, maybe 150% or 200% speed. So that'll be 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Not really showing much more than the initial 6 seconds. Yeah, maybe it is. Checking the audio again. Looks all right. Sounds okay. All right, back to it. We'll do this 200%, condense it to 6 seconds, see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks all right. It looks all right. Okay, I think we'll use it. Once again, it's like the whole idea of that's good enough. I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time wasting time. Just need to show the relevant information. I kind of like this shot here because it's showing the cat girl, which uh-oh, am I dropping frames? Looks like it. Okay, no, I am dumb. That's what that is. I hit pause on my monitor here. So as I was saying, I'm not in the camp of the Canopian cat girl meme, but I acknowledge its existence and welcome its position in the universe. But I dare say those people are wrong. Let's see if I can't find the image of it. It appears that the canonicity of Canopian cat girls stems from the A Time of War Companion book, which has a mutation trait example table and a 6th entry of functional tail and mobile ears. I think the extension of it is like the pleasure districts or whatever in Canopus. See if I can't find the image. Yeah, here we go. Open image in new tab. It all comes from this picture, really. These entertainers here. There's a mermaid lady and a cat girl. So there it is. That's where it's at. And of course, as we know, people love cat girls. So there's an entire subsection of these people within battletech. And that is all the reasoning behind putting the cat girls on this helmet. I felt like it was a really good nod to that community, and I'm recognizing their validity within the universe. I tend to subscribe to a more grounded reality within the battletech universe. I am all about, excuse me, I'm all about that, trying to get in a little historical stuff without going too far outside the realm of plausibility. Welcome, gentlemen. I see R.I.P. Tina Turner. Tina Turner is dead. She's dead, dog. When did this happen? When did this happen? Is this a today? This is a today thing. Thunderdome Lady is gone. Thunderdome Lady is indeed beyond the Thunderdome. Do you think that Tina Turner would have been a cat girl in the battletech universe? Oh, it's a sad day. Sad day. What happened to the lady? It says long illness. Tina Turner dead at 83 after long illness. Tina Turner, the Queen of Rock and Roll, has died peacefully today at the age of 83 after a long illness in her home in Kushnak near Zurich, Switzerland. With her, the world loses a music legend and role model. R.I.P. Miss Turner. Sad day indeed. Might have to watch Thunderdome tonight. She's a clanner. I could see Tina Turner in the cockpit of a summoner, blasting spheroids, indeed. And the mech would be bedazzled, bespeckled with rhinestones and shiny, flashy things. Sad day, sad day. Folks, if you ain't seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, I highly recommend checking it out. Classic film. And I'm going to cue that up for tonight's Before Bed video. Anyhow, today we are working on a short offering that shows weathering the Neurohelmet. Did you see they canceled the single player Overwatch 2 play? I think I heard something to that, although I've never played Overwatch. Let me clear that up, folks. I have not ever done Overwatch. Not even once. I have a hard line against this game because of the overly sexualized models within the game itself. I know that Rule 34 exists for every title, but Overwatch seems like the design crew maybe it's already on the Rule 34 themselves. No Overwatch for me. Though, with this whole thread of, aren't you about to paint a big-breasted barbarian? No, I specifically chose the small-breasted version of the barbarian. I do think it's pretty interesting that, how am I going to discuss the validity of a pinup model while having that hardline stance against the idea? Okay, mister, I don't play Overwatch. I play Apex, dog. I play Apex. It is the game for me. Hazo main? I'm not sure what that is. Is that one of the big booty girls? Hanzo. DVA is clothed head to toe. No, I'm Hanzo. Me? No. I'm Cameron. So, hand soap. I have hand soap. I have a case of hand soap. Look up hand soap Overwatch. No, thank you. I think that's a terrible idea. Don't look up hand soap Overwatch. Digressing. If you folks have been catching it, I've been adjusting the speed duration on these clips to get them down to nice, clean 6-second intros. Hazo? It's how people say Hazo. Hand soap. They say hand soap. Hand soap. Does that work? Is it close enough? Hazo. Hands on. Alright, so now that we've got the rust starting to be applied, we're looking at another 12-second segment of applying the black paint and removing it. It's the Adam Savage method. I picked it up from watching him work on movie props in, what's his show? The YouTube show. Tested. I'm a Heso. How so? Are you back on the you play Overwatch? Because I don't play Overwatch. In fact, you know, honestly, I don't know beyond the over-sexualized characters why I have such a prejudice against Overwatch. Just never appealed to me as a game. Not really my cup of tea, I guess. I have presuppositions about it. You're saying Monkey Man is overly sexualized. I mean, are people there for the Monkey Man? Or are people there for the booty? Because I suspect they're there for the booty. They should make an Overwatch 3, but make it a remake of Overwatch 1. It's the only reason. The Monkey Man is the only reason people are there. I don't believe this. This is nonsense. Y'all are silly. But then Overwatch 4 can have the features that Overwatch 2 was supposed to have at launch. And then it becomes... But even with that, would it just still be Overwatch 1? Isn't it like the whole deal is just... It's just Overwatch? Hanso. Then you make a remaster of the whole series and make it Overwatch 5. I would not be surprised if they keep it going. Who is it? This Blizzard game? What's your favorite Overwatch meme? I'm only aware of the one. The angel lady with her hand out. That's all I know. She's got her hand out for some reason. She's helping people, maybe? Alright, so here we are at the black paint, and I'm thinking we're going to do another sped up segment, maybe, I don't know, 18 seconds worth? So 18 seconds would put us at 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Access granted. Do you like Dr. Mundo? I don't know. What's Dr. Mundo? I wish Mercy took Lifeline's place in Apex. Is that just because the voice lines? Better voice lines? Alright, we got this little clip here. I'm going to go to clip. We're going to go to speed duration, and we're going to shrink it to a 12-second inclusion. Give it a little peekarino, see what it looks like. Grabbing black paint, and then you put the black paint on, and then you take the black paint off. That only shows one section of it. Is that really all I filmed? Might be. Hide the mushrooms all over the map. It's basically a cute caustic. There's a pool out back full of used worms. I'm so confused. I'm not. All these references are lost on me. Completely lost on me. Okay, so I've got 24 seconds of clip now. Oh, I see. I just noticed you'll say whatever we type in the chat, so I started typing nonsense. Okay, so the reason I read out the chat is because I haven't figured out a widget yet for putting the chat on screen. I'm actually thinking, like, if I could have the chat right here above my head or something, that'd be good. But I keep forgetting to research it. And yeah, I do indeed read the nonsense. Doesn't OBS have a chat capture? I'm not sure. Let's take a peek. I know there's a, like, I can see the chat here via a dock and monitor it, but I don't know how to put it into the stream. And let's pop it out. I guess I could just straight up pop it out, and no, I can't, because let's say I popped it out and then I go to work in Premiere. It'll minimize it. So yeah, if I could get this like right there, wow, that'd be awesome. Can you pin it to the top? I don't know. I'm not as versed as I need to be, but I know it's possible because I catch Mr. Mechanical Frog doing battletech streams, and he does like he's got a background that's got his little logo down in the corner, and then the chat, and then his game is within a window. So I'd like to do something similar and get the chat. Though, if you're watching the stream playback on YouTube, it does have the live chat replay if you're not full screen. I leave that on. Normally. So while I'm streaming, I have a tab open that I monitor of the live stream itself. And then usually I'd have my laptop here on my left, but since I've got these headphones on and now the microphone isolated, I keep the stream open here so I can monitor the sound and make sure my microphone's not blowing out and the audio's working all right. It's a gory good time. Bolt gun's a gory good time. That does it offer everything it promises? Do you feel like a Space Marine? That's really what I want to know. I'm definitely excited for it. Though I don't know what price I'd be comfortable paying for it. Plus, I've got that. What's it again? Yeah, you stomp around like a tank, and the bolt gun is very strong and fun to use. Dankness. Let's see the information on bolt gun Steam. Yeah, okay. The game is out. The game is out. $20. Enemies are easy until you run into Chaos Marines and Demons. Boy, I want it. I want it bad. I think I'm about to just buy this at their 10% off price right now. Add to cart. Purchase for myself. Yes. Oh, damn it. I'm using Steam in the browser, so I have to confirm that it's really me. Let's do it. Let's give them the guard code, the access code, authenticator. All right. We'll stick it on my PayPal account. Get rid of that so you don't see it on the stream. Ooh, I'm excited. Let's do, that's fine. Payment method. Agreeing to the terms of Steam subscriber agreement. Bam. Okay, bolt gun. Fantastic. Super excited. Super excited. Yeah, very cool. Thanks for letting me know. I guess I'll be playing through, what was that game called? Cultic. I'll be playing through Cultic and then jumping into some bolt gun. Bolt gun could be a fun one to stream, though I guess the day to stream it would have been yesterday to get the most traction. I wonder what the window for streaming things while they're hot is. Maybe what, 3 days or something before it starts dying down? Something like that. Though I do really enjoy the game streams. I don't necessarily want to get too tied into gaming. AAA titles like 2 weeks, smaller games like 3 days. Yeah, that's about what I'd suspect for a smaller game. 3 days. Even this one right here, I'd consider bolt gun in that same realm of smaller game. Plus, I guess boomer shooters have their own crowd that would ingest that content. Okay, so digressing, we're back on working on the helmet, and I'm gonna try to reduce all this section right here into another 12 seconds, I guess. I could let these run a little longer than the 12-second spreads. Would the boomer shooter crowd be more likely to play the game before watching streams and coverage? That's a really good question. That's a quite interesting question. I bet you're right. I bet they would indeed just play it themselves first. More, instead of watching streams about it. That said, I ingest a lot of Doom videos by what's that guy's name? Casino, I think is the guy. Casino Doom. This guy does a lot of those mechanic in-depth videos. Though I guess that's kind of its own thing, right? It's not really about the game, the gameplay or covering it or whatever. Anyhow, let's grab this clip right here. Okay, so I think I now have all the clips for the short offering. We can get rid of all the footage down here. And this needs to be condensed, like condensed soup, for 24 seconds. So This should be 4 seconds maybe on this. Oh, I need to select just one clip. So we'll select this clip. We'll go to clip, speed duration. It's currently 39 seconds. So let's put it to, I think 5 seconds will do it. 775%, 78, 779% gives us a 5-second clip. Because this was just showing the first layers of the canopus. And then we'll have an angle change and see how this looks at 7 seconds. Speed duration, minute 45. So let's start at 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,450, 1,500, 1,550, 1,525, 1,510. There we go. That might be too fast, but I do like the I do want to get the whole cat being drawn on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's watchable. We're now sitting at 36 seconds of footage. And we'll reduce this last one to another 12 seconds. We're looking at 800%, 750, 755, 760, 770, 765. All right, so that gives us 48 seconds. I think I'm going to expand it, all these sections, and get another 8 seconds on the total length. Get it closer to the 1 minute mark. I'm a little concerned that boosting it to 58 seconds might make it too long, but it could work. Let's do 2.5 seconds on each of these segments. I'm going to put a track in, and then that way I can visually separate each of these segments. These are all 12-second spreads. All right, and then each of these need to be increased by 1.25 seconds. So speed duration, they need to be what, 30 frames a second, so it needs to be 707. To 165%, 64, 66. Okay, this one goes same deal. Speed duration, we'll call it 180, 170, 150, 155. There we go. 707. Same deal with the rest. We're going to get these set up and put to the right speed. Another reminder to folks, today's content is indeed sponsored, but today's content is sponsored by me. If you'd like to get your hands on your own battletech models and get them custom made, printed, painted, and sent them out to you for a very reasonable price, head on over to my gig over on Fiverr. Let's see if I can't pull up this order page. Here we go. The link is in the description if you'd like to pick it up. I'll do a single model for 25 bucks. I'll do a full lance for 65, and then I have a premium tier that also includes the printed record sheets, and they will be mailed to you included in that cost. Limitation is generally on MechWarrior Online styling, but you can negotiate with me to get the chassis you'd like. Turnaround time's about 3 weeks, and of course that is not the day you receive the model, but when it is completed. So check it out if you're interested in tossing in an order with me, and I can get you some fine stuff made and sent out to you if you don't feel like painting up your own mechs. For that matter, I just released a custom order for a client who ordered a set of 12 mechs. I negotiated a decent deal with him. I'm also available for custom orders beyond the scope of what is made available via the gig page. So today's content has been brought to you by myself, Cameron Thurston, 1987 on Fiverr. If you want some fantastic models painted up in a I'd call them above tabletop quality. They're not spectacular, but I do a lot of weathering and chipping and some decals, so they can look really good and get on your table in about 3 weeks from the order time. So check it out in the description below. Anyhow, digressing, I'm back to adjusting the length of these here videos. We're adding 2.5 seconds to each segment, so as to slow down the speed up a little bit, as well as increase the length to where it's, you know, the maximum I can really get away with. Excuse me. This one needs to be 13.5 seconds. So let's try. Let's cancel. Let's see my starting point. We've got this selected. We're going to clip. We're going to speed duration. It needs to be 145. I can go a little more. 130, 140, 138, 135, 132, 133. Good Lord. I guess it's 125, 129. It's ridiculous. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm forgetting that half a second is 15 frames. So we'll make that one over, and going on to the next ones. I think this first section here could stay the same speed because it's nice and short. It's just showing the initial canopus. We want that cat to be on the screen a little longer. So this one's going to get increased by the 2.5 seconds. It's currently a 7-second clip. So we want 9 seconds, 15 frames. Start with 1,000%. Not fast enough. 1200's too fast. 1100% is about in the ballpark. 1075, not fast enough. 90. Was it 1100? I guess 1100 is right. 1105, 6, 7, 1109%. There we go. And then same deal with this last one. We're gonna clip it up. We're gonna speed duration it, and this one needs to be 1415. Let's go 700. Let's go 600. Let's go 650. Let's go 640. 30. 35. 34. There we go. All right, so we're sitting at 55 seconds, 28 frames, so 56 seconds. We're gonna toss in the static now, which is the go-to. Let's get it sized appropriately by adjusting the scale. 200's not big enough. I think it was, well, I was gonna say I thought it was 230%, but that's not enough. Okay, and now the trick I've been doing for this this here static effect is to find a spot, and then we'll take 1 full second of it. Yep. Make sure we got the static clipped at the same time. We'll get rid of all this. Pow, pow. And then we'll split this in half. So "15 frames back." We're gonna split it, and we take the second half and append that to the start of the clip. Yeah. And what that's gonna do is make the loop over, because when you're watching a short, it just keeps looping and looping. And in doing it this way, the static that's at the end seamlessly blends into the static at the start. What are we at now? 58 seconds and 2 frames. I think that works. We're gonna probably gain some frames as the whole thing gets adjusted to the YouTube frame rate, which is 29.97. I also need to add a chromatic aberration to this, and before, what I would do is put an in and an out on the content, and then you render that and send that out as its own MP4, re-import it and do some layers. But I've since discovered that I can just make a new sequence. So we'll go new item sequence. We'll go, sequence is called chromatic aberration. We're gonna okay it. Pow, we got a new sequence. We're gonna grab all these clips and we're gonna cut them and paste them in here. Let me double check my audio. Everything all right? I am so paranoid these days because my microphone tends to just like, every now and then it peaks out to an insane degree. Not really sure exactly why it's doing it, but trying to be more cognizant of errors. Anyhow, back to it. Now that we have our edited footage in the sequence, let's change the sequence settings to be correct, which is 1080 by 1920 and not the other way around. Yes, that's correct. We can go back into the main body sequence, and instead of those stacked images or stacked sequences or stacked videos, we can use a sequence here. And what that's going to let me do is apply the chromatic aberration to it. I think I'm not 100% sure if I need to put the VHS overlay over top of this or over top of the sequence. I think the chromatic aberration just applies to the whole thing. So we'll put that here at the top. Okay, we're also going to make a few copies of the chromatic aberration. So to do that, we're going to do RGB, color balance effect, and we also need to set its blend mode to exclusion. We'll copy the sequence and paste it 2 more times. slide it over, grab both, and let me click them in place here. I went too far. Make sure it doesn't overwrite the clip at the beginning. Okay, so with that, I can now do the whole red and green deal. What we want to do is set this top layer to red 100, green and blue 0. Same with the middle, we'll do 0 red, 100 green, 0 blue, and the bottom one 0, 0, 100. I just do a real simple shift to get my chromatic aberration effect. There are some really cool and in-depth tutorials for this that produce awesome effects like flickering and rolling shutters. It's cool and all, I don't really generally have time for that. And I think, if I recall from before, we want to set the red layer to the right 3, and then we want to do the other layer adjustment down 2. And I think I'm going to use I'm going to adjust the blue layer instead of the green one this time around. So let's go. Dang it. Make sure this is selected, make sure position is selected, and then we double click here. No, we don't. Click over here. Single click. It keeps selecting the blank VHS overlay, which is very frustrating. Select over here. Okay, there we go. And we go down to, there we go. Let's give it a zoom into 100%, and you can see that they're just like, it's a little off, just a little bit off. It kind of makes it fuzzy and blurs the edges a little bit. I had a comment on a previous iteration of my footage that like moving it over by 6 or 7 pixels was too much and made the details hard to see. So shifting things over where it's at is kind of like my way of striking a balance between getting the nice aberration and showing the detail as well. Okay, that said, we've almost assembled this full clip. So now we're going to razor blade off the back end of the blank VHS tape. We're going to make it visual again. I just bumped my microphone. Let me check. Audio test, audio test, audio test. Okay, it's working. Again, I'm so paranoid about this here mic turning into like squelchy, staticky nonsense. We're gonna get this play overlay lined up correctly and set this one to, I think I use exclusion here as well. It might not show up great. Let's try lighten. No. Screen. Screen looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna stick with it. That has us with a video. That has us with the video made. Okay, so we're gonna do some voiceover work. And this actually is where I'm gonna possibly see the mic freak out. And I apologize in advance if it does it, but this might be what causes. It's usually where I see the mic freak out and peak out. inside of the old Audacity. So let's go ahead and start writing a script. Notepad. Let's do howdy folks, and welcome back to another installment of Country Fried Shorts. Today we're gonna use some prop making methods to weather up that big old Neurohelmet that got printed up a ways back. Starting from a plain silver paint job featuring Vallejo's metal color jet exhaust and duraluminum aluminum. We've got a solid foundation upon which to add some cheeky weathering methods. First up, it is gonna be dirty down rust effect to really emphasize the neglected and oxidized quality inherent in an ancient metal hunk of junk. From here, I'm gonna use a technique picked up from Adam Savage, wherein I apply black paint and then immediately wipe it off, leaving some dirty black residue in the crevices, as well as a touch of surface staining. From there, we're doing markings on the helmet, and I think that's all we touch on. From here, I just said from here. We'll do a next up. Next up is the way. Double checking stuff. Yep. Okay. Next up is gonna be the little touches that really personalize the helmet. Much as the trope of what's the word for the markings on like soldiers' helmets and stuff. Much as the trope of customized battle, much as the trope, much as is the case with the trope of customization among soldiers in warfare, we'll add some personalization personalizations to the prop. In my case, this character is gonna showcase his love for the entertainment districts among Canopian space with uh-oh, I have a message. I'm being messaged. It is unimportant at the moment. This character is going to showcase his love for the entertainment districts among Canopian space with a prominent nod to Canopus, as well as a couple of cat girl stickers plastered onto the surfaces of this gigantic helmet. Okay, so from here, I think what I'm gonna do is stretch my legs for just a second and turn on the BRB scene and refill my coffee, and then we'll start recording this up and do some voice lines, and I'll be right back in just a moment. Catch y'all soon. Alright folks, I'm back. Got a fresh cup of Cafe Bustelo coffee, the best coffee there is. Today I'm drinking it with a little bit of chocolate almond milk in it. It's very tasty. Good coffee, good drink. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of chocolate flavor. Can't recommend it enough. Good coffee. Not a sponsor. Anyhow, I think we're ready to start the recording proper. Let's make sure recording device is set. It looks correct. Now, there is a chance that as soon as I hit record, it's going to cause the microphone to squelch out, which if it does, I'll be watching for that. Anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and record up this script and see how long it lasts for. Howdy folks, and welcome back to another installment of Country Fried Shorts. Today we're going to use some prop making methods to weather up that big old Neurohelmet that got printed up a ways back. Starting from a plain silver paint job featuring Vallejo's metal colored jet exhaust and duraluminum, we've got a solid foundation upon which to add some cheeky weathering methods. First up is going to be Dirty Down's Rust Effect to really emphasize the neglected and oxidized qualities inherent in an ancient metallic hunk of junk. From here, I'm going to use a technique picked up from Adam Savage, wherein I apply black paint and immediately wipe it off, leaving some dirty black residue in the crevices as well as a touch of surface staining. Next up is going to be the little touches that really personalize the helmet. As is the case with the trope of customization among soldiers in warfare, we'll add some personalizations to the prop. Okay, that actually, we don't have time for that last line. So maybe with these touches, our helmet is very clearly owned by a lover of Canopus. Canopian debauchery. With these touches, our helmet is very clearly owned by a lover of Canopian debauchery. Okay, that might do it, and it looks like my microphone didn't squelch out, which I'm quite happy about. Let's give this a listen. Got some hard peaks in it, but that's fine. Let's export this here. We're gonna pop it into shorts. We're gonna do weathering Neurohelmet. We're gonna call it voiceover. Voiceover. Beep 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 bop bop bow bop 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 bow. Now I just gotta find it in the folder over here and drop it in. It runs a little long. I guess we'll apply the audio effects first and then start trimming it down some. I guess I could just trim off the front end. Now that I think about it. How? It now fits. It now fits quite well, actually. So, as is tradition with these VHS episodes of Country Fried Shorts, we're gonna go to Essential Sound, and we're gonna use the preset of, I think it was from the television. Pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, sounds right. And then what I need to add is a hard limiter. A trick I've picked up lately. Basically, okay, so I released a video for my final creative project in Latino art history, and I didn't realize how bad the audio was blown out until my professor was showing it to the class, and he was on a screen share, and he was on headphones, and he tried to mute it while he was watching it. So, and it muted for everyone, so he had to suffer through the audio levels on it. And since then, I have included hard limiters in all of my... Did you hear that noise? I've included hard limiters in all of my videos at this point to ensure that I keep the peaks down at that negative 12 decibel level. In fact, if I were to turn off my TV in the corner for a minute, and you can see when I hit play on this, It's got some hard peaks that are popping into the red. I don't want it up here. I want it to stick down around here. So to deal with those, what I'm gonna do is toss in the hard limiter, and we'll do a custom setup, and we'll set that to minus 12 decibels. It's just gonna make the peaks are still gonna be there. Nothing more I can do about that other than get like a more dynamic microphone that has a better recording band. It's going to take a little more research on my part to get that worked out. But, you know, as the channel grows and grows, it's becoming easier and easier to do all the little things about it. All right, I think it's working. So next up, we need to pick out... Actually, next up I need to figure out where I mentioned the dirty down rust. Okay, so that's an important message. Got a guy getting back to me about traveling. Sorry, this is kind of important message I'm dealing with here. Getting ready for the Rose City raid coming up at the end of the next month. And I think I'm coordinating with a good friend to split the driving. 'Cause it's like 10 hours or something up to Portland from here. Yeah. Okay, he's on board. Sounds great. All right, so where was I? My apologies. That was an important message this time. What I need to do is put in that little graphic that I got of the dirty down rust. So that was in one of my folders here. Gonna grab the dirty down transparency. Yeah, we're gonna pop it in right here. It's real tiny. It's real tiny. Let's make it bigger. Let's do like 300%. Too big. 250. Let me rotate it, please. I'd like to rotate this image. Maybe on this section. It's a little invasive of the image. We'll do it up top. We'll do this up at the top. We're gonna rotate it. Rotate you. Rotate you. Let me rotate. We're gonna zoom in. That's a little too much. How about that? We're gonna zoom in. We're gonna get this thing up in the corner and animated. Animated? Animated. Rotate it down. Cool. Okay. So, it don't look great up there, does it? See how invasive that is. All right. So, we're going to do position, scale, rotation. We'll drop in some keyframes. I think we're going to make this move on for a full second. And then go to the end of it. Make sure the track targeting's on so I can go to the end. We're going to pop in some keyframes. Then we're going to go back 1 second to there. Some more keyframes. Actually, I think we're going to go... I'm going to go half a second off. Get rid of these. And then there's a whole like wiggle waggle deal that I think I can do to put some visual interest on it. So to start this, we're going to go back to the first keyframe that's off the image and grab this thing and move it there. And please let me rotate. Rotate it like that. And I think we'll do the rest thing. Why is it? So this is something that I keep having happen in Premiere. That I'm not sure why it's doing it. So as you can see here as I move this, there is motion. There's motion happening on my asset. There are no keyframes in the middle. It should not be doing any kind of animation whatsoever. Have no idea why it's doing that. So I'm just gonna get rid of these keyframes. And then now it's gone. So that's very confusing, not sure, have no idea why it's doing that. Very irritating actually. But anyhow, as I learn more about the software, I'll suss that out. But digressing, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go forward in 15 frame increments. So we go 15 frames, and then what we do is we drop down a keyframe and advance 1 frame, and we'll create this instantaneous rotation to create some visual interest. And then we'll do it again, 15 frames. 15 frames, we drop down a keyframe, we go forward 1 frame, and we will rotate it back a whole bunch. Same deal, 15 frames. Drop a keyframe down, go forward 1 frame, set this back to 30. We'll do 1 more. I think 4 changes of rotation should be sufficient. and we'll do this one like 37% or 37 degrees. We might have room for one more. Might very well have room for one more. Yeah. Do that one frame. We'll go 26 degrees with it. And I think from here we can jump to the very end of the clip. Put 3 of those down, and then we're going to go back 15 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, examining that, we have room to do one more rotation. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Pow, 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 keyframe, one frame, another keyframe, and that way we can get this closer to the angle where it started, and then we'll be able to have it pull off the screen and rotate. Yeah, there, we'll stick that on. We'll jump to the end, and oh, it's very frustrating. I guess I need to move all these keyframes back one frame so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, and then it goes back off that way, and it also rotates to 5 degrees. And we should have this, like, it comes on and it wink, 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 and then it zooms off. Okay, I can see immediately too that it added some extra movement. Like, it went forward some. It's not supposed to do that. I didn't tell it to do that, but it's doing it. It's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating indeed that it has that, like, why is there movement in between here and there? I did not tell it to do that, so to fix it, I have to come in here and just, like, why did it do that? 314. 314. I have to go frame by frame and tell it to stay where I told it to go. Despite it, like, I didn't tell it to advance. I did not tell it to do any animation there. It just did it on its own. Very, very frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Let's zoom in. Advance it one frame. Tell it to stop moving. Advance it one frame. Tell it to stop moving. You can see where this is a huge problem if you have a big gap. It came up during my first Ares Games and Minis ad. Just like, it's adding movement, it's adding animation where I did not tell it to add animation. Premiere, why? Adobe, why is your software shit garbage? I am also seeing that it's got vertical movement as well, for some reason. So let's go back through all these frames and adjust the vertical movement that it's doing, despite not being told to do that. I think it has something to do with adding keyframes in between. Like, so I had this last position here, and then I added a keyframe here at the very end, and then I went back and stuck a keyframe in between, so it like screwed up all the settings. Not sure exactly what's causing it or why, but you know, it's a thing. Anyhow, it's mitigated through much complaining. Let's give it a little watch, see. Actually, I guess I should watch the whole thing and see how the audio lines up. Welcome to installment of shorts. Prop making method. Okay, I may need to just rewrite the whole script. Good Lord, the traffic noise outside is insane today. It really never fails. Like, it'll be a nice quiet day unless I'm trying to record audio. And then it's just like constant motorcycles driving by. I also noticed that motorcycle drivers like to, or seem to like to, rev their motor as they go by windows. Just like an additional vroom for no reason. No apparent reason, I should say. Okay. We gotta do a full rewrite here. Prop painting methods to weather up that big old Neurohelmet. First up, dirty down rust effect. All right, let's just record that bit again and see. I guess I can move stuff around. Let's just get rid of this and this. Get rid of that. We'll just do the whole thing up. Maybe not have motorcycles drive by as I try to record audio. Okay, here we go. Howdy folks, and welcome back to another installment of Country Fried Shorts. Today we're going to use some prop making methods to weather up that big old Neurohelmet. First up is going to be dirty down rust effect to really emphasize. I just stumbled the words. I just stumbled over the words. Oh. First up is going to be dirty down's rust effect to really emphasize the neglected and oxidized qualities inherent in an ancient metallic hunk of junk. From here, I'm going to use a technique picked up from Adam Savage, wherein I apply black paint and then immediately wipe it off, leaving some dirty black residue in the crevices as well as a touch of surface staining. Okay. So, I mean, it's still like 4 seconds over for each of these. Like the visual effect of doing the thing starts, and then I'm still talking about the last section. It's hard to line these up, but again, I circle back around to the whole idea of good enough is good enough. And the previous audio was not good enough. Did not work. So, see, levels look all right. Everything's still okay. Let's do the next line. Where was I? Okay. Next up is going to be the little touches that really personalize the helmet. Much as is the case with the trope of customization along soldiers in warfare, we'll add some personalizations to the prop. With these touches, as the inclusion of the blatant canopus canopus traveler and cat girl stickers suggest. With these touches, our helmet is verily clearly. My tongue gets fat in my mouth when I try to record things sometimes. With these touches, traffic noises. Here's the thing is, okay, so San Francisco has historically been cold. Very temperate, chilly. We have the Arctic jet stream coming down, surrounded on three sides by water. Very windy, very cold for the last hundreds and hundreds of years. Very cold here. Like 50, 60 degrees, 70 degrees would be a hot day. As of late, the last 10 years or so, San Francisco is getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. It's starting to feel like the rest of California, which really sucks because I'm a fat man. I get hot very easily. And because San Francisco has been cold since forever, there's no air conditioning. It's not a thing. You don't need air conditioning. For the last 50 years, you just open the window when it gets hot in your house. So I have no air conditioning. Furthermore, the standards for earthquake-proof buildings and construction standards are really they really enhance the quality of materials in the walls, I guess. So the insulation is very strong. Holds heat very well. Holds heat extremely well. So I have to have the window open or it's stifling, like 80 degrees in my apartment. It's actually kind of absurd how extremely hot it gets in my apartment. Of course, my unit is also a southern facing apartment, so it sucks up heat. It drinks the heat all day long. And long story short, I either have to have a fan running, which definitely gets picked up in the audio, or I have to have the window open. And with the window open, the traffic going by gets really bad. So that rambling aside, I've opened up Cookie Clicker. I'm listening, letting the traffic die down a bit, adjusting my camera. I hear a motorcycle right now. Yeah, it's really annoying for trying to record audio, and I'd like to see less traffic. Even as a car owner, it's absurd. Anyhow, it seems somewhat quiet. That rant out of the way. I think so. Okay. Let's leave Cookie Clicker and figure out where I was. Okay, we're adding personalizations to the prop. So from here, with these touches, our helmet is very clearly owned by a lover of Canopy. As the very clearly as the inclusion of the blatant Canopus Traveler and Cat Girl stickers immediately suggest. Alright, let's try that. I go to click and there's just motorcycles. With these little touches, our helmet is very clearly owned by a lover of Canopian debauchery, as the inclusion of the blatant Canopus Traveler and the Catgirl stickers immediately suggest. Okay, so I need to fill another 8 seconds. Another 8 seconds. We'll do, say something like, between the weathering and the immersive customization, this full-size prop becomes quite believable. Becomes quite believable after just a bit of concerted effort. After a bit of strategic painting. I think that'll do it. Between the weathering and the immersive customization, this full-size prop becomes quite believable after just a bit of strategic painting. That lines up really well, I think. We're going to export this. We're going to re-export this as voiceover. There we go. Audio still okay. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna re-import voiceover and have to trim it a bit. So let's get rid of the first lead up. We're going to essential sound it again. We're going to dialogue it. We're going to do it from the television, and then we're going to go effects and add in the hard limiter again. Effect controls will hard limit it to -12 decibels to get rid of any hard peaks. And then let's see where it lines up at the very end. We need to get rid of about a second of dead air. So now we're going to look for obvious breaks that we can trim down. That's a good one there. We'll pop, trim that empty space a little bit. Stick it over. Control Z, stick it over. There's another one right here we can get rid of. So we'll take out a little bit of that. Who's bothering me now? Who's bothering me now? It is the parking app reminding me that my parking expires in 10 minutes. I've been paying for a meter today because my car is conveniently out front of my building, and I've got some stuff to do later this evening that would be conducive to drive to. Trimmed off a little too much there. Actually, it might be ready to roll right as it is. Let's give it a listen. Another installment of Country Fried Shorts. First up, Dirty Down Rust. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. The effects are much more lined up with there's black paint and wipe it off as I'm talking about it, or as I'm showing it. Okay, worth it. Absolutely worth rewriting the script. All right, so now I need to add a Tech Studio item. Let's go ahead and sign in. I need something that says weathered to perfection, I think is what I'm going for. It needs to be eye-catching. So let's look through here and see if we have any effects that suggest rust. The wood thing's kind of close, but it's, you know, wood and not rusty. It's gotta be rust. Dirt could work. Damn it, man. I clicked on a thing I didn't mean to click on. Looking for rust. Looking for a rust effect. We're looking for a rust effect. Rust effect. Looking for a rust effect. There's got to be one in here somewhere. Once again, this is techstudio.com. If you need fun 3D text overlays, you know, it's worth it in my opinion. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I paid for a year subscription, and I use this just about every video. You can do it for free, but you're gonna get like low res versions that do not work for 1080p. So in my case, it was worth paying for it. I can't believe I'm not finding a rusty metal look. Oh, there we go, pal, perfect. Just as I was complaining. We're gonna say weathered to perfection. Weathered to filthy perfection. There we go, no background. We're gonna download this max res. We're gonna PNG that boy. We're gonna download it. And then, let me go to my downloads folder. I'm gonna cut this thing out. I'm gonna go back over to the weather and a Neurohelmet and drop it in. And then, I need to stick it in the chromatic aberration section. We're going to add a track, and we're going to dump in weather to perfection right at the very end. I want to shrink it down. Let's call it 30%. It's still too big. 25%. That might be a little hard to see. I don't know. I don't know if that works or not. Maybe it does. No, not really. Could we do a glow effect on it? An alpha glow. Let's dump that in. Effect controls. We're going to do the alpha glow. We're going to zoom in on it. 35? 100? People honking their horns outside. Folks don't realize that honking your horn ain't gonna make the traffic jam go any faster. I think that glow makes it look a little better. We could maybe get it a little rusty colored to make it stand out more. Let's do orangey, super bright orangey. Pow. Let's do 150 on the glow. Can I not go higher? I can't go higher. Let's zoom in on it. I guess that's just maybe not enough contrast there. Let's go to white. Zoom it back out. I just honestly, like, this doesn't add much to the scene itself, but it's got to be in there for the thumbnail. I find that uploading these shorts from the computer is kind of not great, because it chooses a random still for the thumbnail, and then you get these bad thumbnails that people don't click on. So I have to include an image like this with some text to get people to, I guess, trick people into clicking on it. I mean, there's fans of the content that will click on it, but I think for the most part, randos, folks that have no idea of the content, which shorts get shown to random people. That's a thing. They're not gonna see and click on content unless you dangle something like visually appealing. And so there's a bit of a trick to making good-looking thumbnails, and I've picked that up since I want to say the last 8 months or so, 6 months maybe, making the thumbnails look a little better. Yeah, okay, that looks great. Looks good. All right, so now that we've got the audio, yeah, like to case in point about the noise, like that Harley Davidson motorcycle going by just now is going along fine, and he's in the middle of the intersection and revs up his motor. Why, man? Why? I'll tell you why. It's to be as annoying as possible. Hot take: the folks who drive those things drive them to piss people off. That is the whole point. Yeah. Anyhow, that rant aside, I have just I've grown to loathe motorcycles since living downtown. The motor noises it echoes off the buildings and funnels directly into my window. Where am I? I can't even think because the traffic noise going by, it's just destroys your train of thought. I think this short just needs the music track and then it's done. So we're gonna pop on into Country Fried Video Production. We're gonna go to Assets. We're gonna go to Music, and I'm gonna sort by artists. And I think it's got to stick with the whole 80s synth music sounds. It's what it is. So let's give let's do it with this one. Nope. Let's do this one. Nope. Let's try this one. I've used that one before. Going with, how about we find a new one? That'd be cool. That way I can also show once again Epidemic Sound, which is a great resource for any creator So I pay $15 a month for membership at Epidemic Sound. It gives you access to a gigantic library of music that you can use. So let's do, let's go with 80s synth. And we're gonna find something. I think something somewhat upbeat, but maybe a new artist that I don't have. I kind of like this one so far. Whether or not I use it, that's getting downloaded. We'll pick it up. Let's get a second option. Okay, I'm liking it so far. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Pow, we're gonna grab both of those. Okay, so I think I'm pretty sure you can check out this website whether or not you're a member or not, and like listen to the songs that are available. Whether or not you can download them, I don't think you can. But I did find out that if you plug these into your content without having paid for the membership, you'll get a copyright tag, most likely. Okay, so we're gonna stick this in. We're gonna trim it at the end because it goes right into static. Pow. And we're gonna effect controls. We're gonna make this minus 20 decibels, I think is where it's at. I'm gonna give it a listen. It's a little loud. Let's see where the peaks are. Yeah, it's a little too loud. Let's try 25 decibels. It's hovering around negative 25, okay. Let's see how it lines up with the audio, the speaking track. Can you hear me? Okay, it seems all right. Seems all right. I don't know if we need to go more quiet with it. Yeah. Music needs to be kind of quiet. Okay. Rust effect, oxidized qualities. Next up, we're doing the black. All right, it's lining up decently. Music levels seem all right. Next up, we're gonna put the little touches. Yeah, okay. Okay, that works. I think the strategic painting is a little close to the end. So what we're going to do is trim out about that much. Pop that over. Let's see how that lines up now. Okay, yeah, cool. And I think that means we have a short video completed. And I guess I could compile it now. I think I could compile it. I wonder if it's gonna affect the stream. Well, let's try it anyways. I'm gonna go to export. We're gonna call this one weathering short. We're gonna go to, it needs to go in the shorts folder, needs to go into weathering a Neurohelmet. I'm gonna go to save, we're gonna go entire source, and we're gonna export this thing. Let's see how bad it starts to chug down the computer. Is it chugging? We chugging there? I think it is maybe chugging a little bit. Giving it a watch on the monitor. Not too bad, not too bad. Running a little slow. I think I can close out some of these other programs. Get rid of that. And I think what I'm going to do here is get this thing exported, give it a watch, maybe demo it, and then from there I'll start the, once we're done showing the demo, we can call the stream for the day, and then I'll have this posted for tomorrow, and then tomorrow again we have the Diablo 1 stream back with TechNoirTN, my co-star. He'll be posting over at twitch.tv/TechNoirTN, and we'll have both angles of it. We are in hell currently, and we're going to be pushing further. We're hoping to be able to finish it in a single run tomorrow, but we may have 2 or 3 episodes left. But from there, we've been discussing adding in or switching gears for a different game once we finish up. And at some point, I'm going to paint up some Diablo models for the channel. I think it'll be really fun. I've also been working on some commissions on Fiverr. So once again, as I stated at the beginning of the stream, today's content is sponsored by me, yours truly, over at Fiverr. I run a gig where you can get some custom mechs printed out and painted, shipped to you. Details in the description below. I just sent some out to a client, did a big order, and I've recorded the footage of working on it so I can talk a little bit about what goes into commission work and the harsh realities of it. So that should be fun. That'll be coming out sometime soon. And then of course, the community has voted on Titania the Barbarian. In fact, let's see if I can't find Twin Goddess Miniatures Titania. Uh-oh. Twin Goddess Miniatures Titania. Let's see if I can't find an image to show y'all what we're working on. Open image in new tab. Here we go. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Where is that? I can't find it. I can't find it. Maybe it's number 2. I might just have to go to the Twin Goddess Miniatures page. The Barbarian. Let's see if it's here. Oops. Yeah, yeah, there she is. Okay, so this is the model I'll be working on. Although she's a little less clothed in the offer I'm going to be working on, but it is going to be an essay on the validity of pinup models. And why you should try painting your own pinups. So it should be fun. I'll also be glazing for the first time, so that's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. And anyhow, let's see if I can't find the exported image. Or exported video. We're going to go into shorts. We're going to go into weathering. We're going to find this thing. Alright, we got that. And I think what I need to do here now is I'm going to need to turn off the music. I'm going to need to get rid of the turn that on. We're gonna demo, delete that. We're gonna put on add file. I'm gonna go back to shorts. We're gonna go to, actually let's cancel that. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. We're going to add in, I think, application audio capture. We're going to create a new one, and we'll call it demo audio only. Create new. It might not work. Okay, so that's what it was. I have to run a, I'll show you what I'm doing here. I have to put in a, I tried to do just the audio so I could play it on my screen, but what I need to do is to use a VLC playlist. And we're gonna play that one. It might be super loud. So we're gonna pop that on. Turn this on. We're gonna turn off the music playlist. We're gonna get rid of TV in the corner. And I'm going to move this over so I can see what's going on. And hopefully I don't blow your eardrums out. Alright, without further ado, let's demo up today's short. Wait, it's not working great. Stop it. Okay. Brother, why? Let's put this up over top of it. Alright, try again. One more try. Okay, I guess it's not working. It's not working. Not working. Not working. Not working. Why, you know? Why, you know, work? Did I think there is audio. I can hear it here. Let's see. Let's remove that. Let's turn back on this here. Let's transition to that. Let's try to troubleshoot this real quick. Let's add a... Maybe it was the wrong type of media source. I want to call this demo the video. Add that. Weathering short, okay. Demo the video. Let's see if I can't. Where'd that go? Demo the video. Alright, so I think I'm going to turn off display capture. We're going to hit the demo to video and see if it works. Turn off music playlist. One more attempt. Here we go. Howdy folks, and welcome back to another installment of Country Fried Shorts. Today we're going to use... That's all screwed up. Alright. Let's get it fixed. Let's get it fixed. Let's get it right size. Dang, this is kind of rough at times. Okay, let's turn the audio back on.
Along Soldiers in Warfare, we'll add some personalizations to the prop.
Nope. I'm just stumbling over myself here. All right, this should have it correct now. Let's demo this video.
Howdy folks, and welcome back to another installment of Country Fried Shorts. Today we're going to use some prop making methods to weather up that big old Neurohelmet. First up is going to be Dirty Down's Rust Effect to really emphasize the neglected and oxidized qualities inherent in an ancient metallic hunk of junk. From here, I'm going to use a technique picked up from Adam Savage, wherein I apply black paint and then immediately wipe it off, leaving some dirty black residue in the crevices as well as a touch of surface staining. Next up is going to be the little touches that really personalize the helmet. Much as is the case with the trope of customization along Soldiers in Warfare, we'll add some personalizations to the prop. With these little touches, our helmet is very clearly owned by a lover of Canopian debauchery, as the inclusion of the blatant Canopus Traveler and the Catgirl stickers immediately suggests. Between the weathering and the immersive customization, this full-size prop becomes quite believable after just a bit of strategic painting.
Fantastic. Okay, come out great. Come out great. I think it's ready to rock and roll. So I want to thank y'all for showing up today and sitting through this mess that we do here at the Workflow live stream. Once again, it looks like we have been able to finish a short in about 2 hours. So I hope that kind of gives you an idea as to what goes into putting together content. If you can imagine that a 1 minute video takes 2 hours to work, you can only imagine what goes into a 20-minute piece of content. So I think that's where we're kind of aiming for it, like a 20-minute to 25-minute videos. I'd like to do more multiple parters, but I'm going to try to avoid getting too deep into that. So that said, here we are at the end of this here live stream today. I want to thank y'all for showing up and checking it out live. If you have any comments or concerns or questions or something you'd like to add, feel free to toss them down below. If you want to see something in some future content, also like feel absolutely free to put your 2 cents into it. Like, I'm here to hear you out, whether you're posting live or you're posting down in the comments below. If you found this through the regular algorithm, like, by all means, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any concerns. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, all that good stuff. I'm here for it. I read all the comments and I will respond in kind. I aim to continue doing that even as the channel grows and we start getting heaps of comments on videos. So, as always, thank y'all for showing up today. This has been a lot of fun. It's good to get these shorts videos out. I'm kind of against the vertical video short format, but it's a part of it and it appeals to people these days. So the shorts will keep rolling out in between major video productions. I'm here. I'm working. I'm in the corner. I'm getting stuff done. I'm recording it. I'm putting out content as best I can. So anyhow, without further ado, I'm just filling space at this point and rambling. So I'm going to go ahead and put us down on the stream ending screen. And thank y'all for watching. And as always, I want y'all to remember to be happy while you're painting. Catch you next time.